kind of lied to him, was like, oh, I'm just going to go outside. But he actually didn't come back, you know? So that hurted him. You gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think also, like, just to add to that, if you go back to paragraph 1, you guys look at the first paragraph, and he's describing what's happening on March 16th and 17th. He says, I lost track of the dates, but I think the last one is correct. Tragedy all along the line. At lunch the day before yesterday, poor Titus Oates said he couldn't go on. Right? So I think those couple of lines there maybe show what Allie was asking is like, how is he affected, or how do we know that he is really upset about the death of his friend? In paragraph 1, we can see that.
So, like, I understand what Allie's saying, but, like, do you think, like, do you think that, like, he knew that he was gonna, like, disappear?
I think he knew, but Scott wanted him to, like, stay, like, wanted to be, like, Scott, because he went through the whole journey, he wanted him to experience, if they did made it, he wanted Oates to be there, and didn't want him to, like leave him behind. Like, it's one of his friends. Like, you don't want to leave a friend behind.
Right, and let's go back to the text and look, right? Where else in the text is there evidence that shows exactly what Melissa is saying, that he did not want to leave him behind, even when Oates himself kind of wanted to quit.
Oates knew that he was gonna not.
Yes, but we're saying where in the text does it show that even though they knew that this was going to happen, he didn't want to leave him behind? Okay, you guys can answer.
It also says on line 16, I take this opportunity of saying that we have stuck to our sick companions to the last. I think that this quote, it shows how him and his companions had a tight bond together, so it shows that he doesn't want anything to come in between him and his life and his companions, or his friend's life too.
Any other questions? Kevin?
How do you think that some of his companions' deaths affected him?
Well, I guess because he wanted to make it, because he was so close to the, what's it called? The depot or fuel, that he, like, cause they were almost there, and then he was suffering from the storm, so he had to stop a lot of times. He had to suffer with Oates' death and some other, his friends, from natural causes. And that he was suffering from his pain in his foot. So he was having difficult walking, loss of people, and the weather problems.
And Kevin, just to ask you a question, it says on 9/19, he died a natural death, and we did not leave him until 2 hours after his death. We knew poor Oates was walking to his death, but we tried to rescue him. Basically, they're saying, like, I think he had a mental effect with this too, because he knew that Oates knew that he wasn't coming back after his walk, and Scott thought that he didn't really want to leave his friend. That shows my other detail about how he stuck to his companions. He didn't want to leave them by themselves. And then he also died a natural death.
But there's more details in this text, because in the ending, Scott was saying that it was showing that Scott, he knew he was gonna die, so like he's saying his widow, he crossed out wife and then put widow because he knew he wasn't gonna make it. Like he knew in text, last page 79. He said, and it says send this diary to my widow. and 80. But he like knew because I feel like that's why he wrote in his journal and sent it to his wife, so he knew. Like you guys have all different opinions, but like I think like so. Like his wife wanted to know how his death went and how, or like what happened during the journey. So I guess he just he did like know, like he knew with his foot and everything else. And I guess because he was giving up too.
Another thing is this shows how he wanted to make sure his wife had closure to his journals. He didn't want her to just read it and then see the last couple of pages and not be able to like have closure to the situation, so she wouldn't just be like feeling like it was all her fault, like she was left abruptly. She knew that it was his journey that in the end took his life. And he also wanted her to have the journal because it said, right here, 74, it says, Scott died later. He had thrown the back flap of his sleeping bag in an open coat. The little wallet containing 3 notebooks was under his shoulders and his arm flung across Wilson, so they were found 8 months later. Inside the front cover of the 3rd notebook were the 3 following words. Diary can be read by a finder to ensure recording of records. This shows he also wanted it to be recorded, but diary should be sent to my widow on the first page.
For God's sake, look after your people. That's all. If he was gonna die and he wanted to look for his people. Why do you think Scott was giving up?
Because there was
On paragraph 2 and 1, and like the witness of his friend's death. So if he didn't make it, if he was getting sick and dying, and they probably knew they were gonna die because they're in the same place and same kind of time.
and like every like line he always says the end, like he knew, like he just knew. And cause like he was giving up cause like in line, no, it said 58 and 50, 60. It's telling his date and that there's a blizzard and that there was like no fuel left and that there was only 2 days of food left.
We had food to make 2 cups of tea, a pea, a bear of food to make 2 days.
Also,
Oh. 62.
it also says on line 5, at night he was worse than and we knew the ends had come. He was already like preparing for him and his friends' journey to come to an unfortunate end.
Does anyone have any more questions?
Yeah.
The question that, like, not a question, but let's say you just, like, read, did you guys, like, just, like, when you guys were, like, talking, another one just, like, found something, or, like, was all, like,
We was like, because there were others in my mind, but I couldn't write anymore because it had the 3 details. But there was more more evidence, but I wanted to give these because like it did like most of it was like his goal. It was going to be his end. Like you knew he was gonna die, but you want to know how what struggles he went through before his death.
And also, while she was going through her quotes, me and Michael were looking around the text for anything to support her text-specific question.
And I kind of went along with it.
Any more questions?
I have a question before we move on to our assessment and looking at the checklist. Is there anything that you guys want to say to sum it up or just to connect the 3 texts?
You ready?
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead.
The all 3 texts seemed like they had hard times and not fun times. One of them had fun. The other one died and that was sad. One of them, but the other one was dying. And they were in a cold place.
What do you mean by fun times?
Wait, is
He
someone
means times of
Like they had happy.
they had happy times and then they had times of despair and sorrow. Because on text 7, excuse me, they were on their way to the South Pole, but they were on the journey, they were having fun, and then they they found out how, the Norwegians have bested us, we've lost, and now it's slowly coming to an end for them. They're slowly dying off, so that shows how they're having some bad, tragic times. They're also, they also are recording each detail, so they have to relive each tragic moment every time they write down another detail.
when they got there.
Alright guys, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Stay right there. And what I'd like everyone else to do is just turn to your group right now, fill out as much of the checklist as you can. A lot of you are doing